In this video, we're gonna take an easy pattern from beginner class and teach you how to make it a high-level intermediate move. What's up, gang? My name is Brian B.
I'm Miss Megan.
And this is my favorite way to teach West Coast swing. We take basic patterns and we build them until they become more advanced. So the way that I explain West Coast swing is everything is based off of three basic patterns. Either some sort of a push, some sort of a pass, right? Or some sort of a whip. And in this video, we're gonna use one of the passes with an inside turn or an inside roll. This basic pattern right here that if you're watching this video, you probably know. So that's the basic footwork. So the first thing I'd want to do in class is teach a basic inside turn. Make sure everyone's comfortable doing that. We're going to do it twice in a row because the pattern is going to include both of those turns. Second thing we're going to do as we build this pattern is we're going to go right to left and we're going to do a free spin. Once we can do the free spin, this is your first kind of part of this pattern, is we're going to do a free spin landing in closed position. So what I'm going to do here is as I lead Miss Megan 1, 2, I'm kind of monitoring her and I want to be able to pick up her spine as she comes across. And I'm going to show you from the other side because that's the first skill that we need to build this pattern. So we go 1, 2, we free spin her, I pick up her back. Boom. Yep, let's rewind that. So the second I can see her back, I'm going to put my fingers in the middle and I'm going to wind her in and anchor step together, right? So I want you to practice that. Leaders right to followers left. 1, 2, roll her in, pick up her back. Because as I become better at that, I have an opportunity to change where we are in the anchor step. We're going to change directions in the anchor step. But I have to get good at picking up her back, triple step, before I can change spots with her in the anchor. So what goes on there? If we look at it again from this side, we pick up her back by count 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we want to be connected here. Now normally I allow my hand to go back and I let the follower anchor back. But instead I'm going to go with her and kind of build some connection. 3, and I'm going to pivot my hand around 4. So Miss Megan, what are you thinking about there? Then we're going to tell leaders what they do. It's real easy.
It's a shocker. We think about connecting.
So once I put that hand there, she puts that there, right? And then where I change this hand is where we go on the anchor. So if we look at it both sides, 1, 2, 3, and 4, my hand, I'm gonna leave there, Miss Megan's connected, I gotta put her back on her foot. What's happening for me, leaders, is I'm gonna go with her, triple, and I'm gonna pivot her with this hand as I sneak this foot for step. So right here, she's connected, and we're gonna go triple step. And I'll actually split us apart. Miss Megan can do her footwork. And here's what's going on here. I'm gonna rock with her. I could rock away if I want. I think it's easier for most of us to rock with her. Triple, and then I have to pull this foot, step. And so she's connected back here. So if you look at it one more time this side, and this is probably the hardest part of the pattern. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Cool. Once I'm here, now we're going to lead a free spin to take Megan out. But it's not going to be that boring. We're going to have another cool version. So, but I want you to practice from closed position. 1, I'm going to prep her. 2, I'm going to free spin 3 and 4, 5, and 6. And there's 2 pro tips that will help this happen before we make the coolest version. Pro tip number 1 is kind of a dorky thing. I call it the chicken wing. 1, 2. I'm going to end up chicken winging this arm because I want Miss Megan to prep onto that left foot. She is going to stay connected, but also one of the things that we picked up, I picked this tip up probably about 15 years ago. When we dance ballroom, we're always taught that this stays up, right? And the follower keeps that arm up even if the leader drops that. In social dances like West Coast swing, I like the follower to add a little connection to that. And I say connection, I don't mean weight, meaning she has a little connection there and she follows me. It doesn't get heavy, she's not pushing down, right? But what that does is I drop that, it lets me use that elbow for things. So if I do this free spin, we've got not only is she prepped, but the little pressure on that arm helps her release, right? If we look at that this way, and that pressure is gonna let us get to the next part of the pattern. The next part of the pattern is this. I'm gonna use that arm and I'm going to go up and over my head with it. Pretty cool. We're going to explain that in baby steps, but I want you to see it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So baby steps, this is our favorite way to teach this. What's gonna go in is I'm gonna prep her in, baby step, baby step, baby step, and then we're gonna go through this arm together. So practice that again. We prep her in, and then baby step, I'm going to my right to get through. So that's the best way to practice the arms, is without the footwork, just to understand the arm path, what I call the arm path around. So if we look at this here, footwork wise, I'm actually gonna stay facing forward. I have to get slightly out of the slot, 1, 2. Now I have this window. As she turns, triple step. She passes me in the slot, anchor step. Does this look a lot like beginner class? We go 1, 2. I'm ahead of her. She passes on the triple, and we anchor. So if I look at it from this side, it's the same rules. I have to get out of the slot. She passes me on the triple, and anchor step. So let's look at the whole pattern put together. With this hand, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Change the slot. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. And we can get rid of this with a free spin. Let's look at it again from the other side. Free spin to change the slot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Change the slot. From here, I want to end up facing this way. 1, I prep 2. I'm going to check my left foot back, slide through, anchor step. Now there's one more pro tip from Miss Megan as we practice our baby steps. What is it that you do with this arm? You do a cool C cup we've been teaching quite a bit?
Yes, so as the leader is going up, I tend to protect my space by going underneath. It just goes right around. That way you can also go down to the hand a lot easier.
Yeah, so sometimes we teach moves like this, it ends up looking a little bit like forearm to forearm, and this feels very messy, right? It can still be done, and people definitely do it that way, but Miss Megan's got this cool tip, is that we go 1, 2. As we slide that off, she starts to C-cup that arm, or her hand onto my arm. So whole thing all the way, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. All right, gang, what is the pattern tree chart? The pattern tree chart is a document that Megan created that lists out all of the patterns of West Coast swing that we've put on video and how they relate back to the push, pass, and the whip. So the first page, you can download it right here. There's going to be a link here in the description below. It's totally free. It will, on the first part of the document, will have push, pass, whip. Let's say whip. Click a whip, and then it will list out all the different whips. The next branch, whip with outside turn, whip with inside turn. Down the outside turn, it will have all the things. So even when you learn a super cool move, you can follow it back up that tree to see how it relates back to the core 3 patterns, the push, the pass, the whip. West Coast swing is easy, but hard. Anyways, pattern tree chart, grab it, totally free.